Hey guys, it's CNC Outdoors here, and today we're making a vermicompost bin, but in this case a bucket. And if you don't know what vermicomposting is, it's basically just worms breaking down food scraps and turning them into worm castings, which are really nutrient dense kind of fertilizer for plants, which I have a nice flower garden, so I want to try to put that to use and try out vermicomposting for myself. So yeah, but the one thing I'm doing differently is that online it's recommended to purchase red wigglers online. They're the type of worm that you really need to do this. You can use other worms, but these red wigglers are the best at composting. And normally most people buy them online, but today I went to my local Ace and I got 5 packs of fishing red wigglers, bait worms basically. But instead of using them as bait, I'm gonna put them to use to compost my food scraps. So I'm gonna see how this is gonna work. This is a different method. I don't know if anyone else has tried this. Guessing they probably have, but yeah, I have 5 packs of these. Each
Here are the materials you're going to need to make the vermiculture bucket. So you're going to need a bucket. Then you're going to want some paper or cardboard scraps. This helps add carbon into the soil and feeds the worms. Then you're going to want some actual live matter or some just basic soil. And then you're obviously going to need your worms. And then you're also going to need a drill as well, which we'll show right now. So the first step in creating this vermiculture bucket is that you're going to want to drill some holes in the bucket. You can drill some holes on the side near the top of the bucket, and you can drill some holes on the cap of the bucket. Either or works. You can do both, or only one spot, as long as you have a little bit of holes to add some ventilation, so the worms can breathe and just let the air come out a little bit. But that's not all. You also want to drill holes to the bottom of this bucket to allow water to seep down and collect into the second bucket, which I'll explain a little bit more later on in the video. But drill those holes. Okay, so it's time to put our substrate in. So I put paper scraps in 1/3 of the bucket. You can also use cardboard. You can use newspaper. These types of papery materials have lots of carbon in them, and that helps feed the worms, but it also really enriches the soil. So when you're using this to put in your plants, it's also really nutrient dense as well. Then I put 2/3 of the bucket. I filled that in with living organic matter. And this is basically just soil, dirt, compost, maybe mix it in with a little manure. You can even use potting mix from Walmart, as long as it had living matter in it for some time. Okay, so now you want to take that bucket that you just filled in with all your substrate and put it inside the second bucket. You can put a brick. I used another tiny beach pail bucket thing to elevate the bucket with the soil in just a little bit. So when you pour some water in the bucket with the substrate, the holes that you drill at the bottom of the bucket will kind of filter out the water, and it will pour out to the second bucket, which will hold all this leachate, which is basically just runoff water that seeped all the way down to the bottom of the bucket, the original bucket with the soil. And you can use this leachate to put in your plants, or to just put in your plants, don't drink it. Okay, so now it's time to put in all your worms. For me, I'm obviously just emptying the bait containers these worms came in, and there's really no way to do it. Just throw your worms in, and they will start digging, and they will start getting used to their environment, and maybe play around with them for a little bit. After done putting your worms in, you should go ahead and feed them. You can feed them by giving them any kitchen scraps. I'm talking apple cores, banana peels, kiwi peels, avocado peels. You can do lettuce, maybe some um, carrot scraps. Whatever you have from old fruits or vegetables, throw it in there and it'll feed them up. And eventually it'll decompose, but the worms also eat them at the same time. After this, it's good to give your worms a little bit of watering to keep the soil just a little bit moist, but definitely do not keep it too wet. And that's pretty much it. You're just going to want to keep feeding them from time to time and watering from time to time, and you'll be good. But remember, don't keep the soil too wet. Always keep it just a bit moist.
Okay, guys, so it's been about a week since I've made this vermiculture bucket. And let's check on it. We also have some avocado peels to feed them. I've looked at it a little bit, you know, as the days have gone by. The only downside of this bucket is it low-key smells like, not when you have the lid on, but when you open it, you do get hit with a smell. That's all I'm gonna say. So right there we have an old apple core and a banana, or a banana peel. Let me hold this a little better. As you see, if I move this out of the way, you can see all those worms feasting on the old scraps there. It looks like they're doing really well. If you look really deep into the soil, there's also lots of little baby worms. There's a lot of the little baby worms. Low-key kind of gross. Now it smells a little, it's hitting me a little bit. But that's good because you can see just truly how much are feeding and how we're going to get these worms reproducing them once they're getting fed well. So I'm just going to throw this in like this. Stomp it down just a little bit. Actually, I'm just going to keep it like this. I'm not going to stab too much because I don't want to hurt the other worms, but I'll let this sit. After a while, it's going to get wet. It's going to decompose a little bit, and the worms are going to be feeding. So as you can see, we already have some little bit of baby worms, and the worms are feeding and doing what they're supposed to be doing. So I would say this is becoming a success. And if you guys have made your own bucket, I hope you're yielding the same results, as long as you obviously keep feeding them and keeping the water moist. And yeah, guys, so thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next video.